Welcome to episode 6 of Off Brand, your companion piece to On Brand, the Peacock Show, an NBC show hosted by Jimmy Fallon about the advertising industry. And I'm Rob Mayhew, 25 years of working in said industry. And this is episode 6. I'm glad to have you back. We're almost towards the end of it. Congratulations to last week's winners. Team Moustache, Ryan, Piper, Bianca, Sabrina. They won the Captain Morgan's account. They got to go to the Super Bowl, or they are going to the Super Bowl because that hasn't happened yet. But that was a big win. My favorite episode yet was last week. This week's client that they are looking to win is this guy. Look at him, Pillsbury Doughboy, iconic mascot. Gen Z have fallen out of love with him or don't know who he is. Can you imagine that? He was a staple of every person's kitchen growing up, every family. It was a rite of passage. It's just a good way to bake, you know? It's what it's all about. It's all about a good way to bake. So we had Doug Martin come along and brief the teams. He's the CMO of General Mills, who own the Pillsbury Doughboy. And he's basically, Doughboy's been in the ads for 60 years. It's a long time, isn't it? And they need to get him to connect with a new generation of bakers. And that is the brief this week. They need a campaign, a tagline, and an IRL interactive experience to introduce the Doughboy to a new generation of bakers. So they broke up, they had an hour, they went off, and they came back and they presented, all right, an hour, not a long time. I keep saying that every week. Just this, when clients ask you to pitch and they're like, we're going to give you 2 weeks to come up with a 360 campaign it needs to be ready to just go live once we make our decision. It's like, well, you're giving us 2 weeks to do all this work. That is not realistic. And you're going to get a very average campaign from us. So just give us more time. It shouldn't be a challenge, a competition. We should all be working together. But anyway, they broke up. These teams these individuals broke up, and up first was Elijah, who came up with a debut rap album for the Pillsbury Doughboy, and to have an album release party. You can hear a lot of baking puns. Life rolls keep going. This is Ryan. He came up with. I quite like that night. Like the life rolls keep going. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. But they didn't like his activation. They all sort of went to that, which is interesting. Then there's Piper, who has been consistently good. She's been in a lot of the winning teams. And here she is with Home is Where the Doughboy is. So her insight here is that Doughboy has been into all of our homes. Let's go into the Doughboy's home. I'd love to know what that's like, because he's a little guy, isn't he? So this is what the activation looked like. Look at that. That, if it doesn't get more on brand than that. See what I did there? Then we had Zelly, who came up with grab a plate. So her idea here is when the world starts to crumble, grab a plate. Now, bear in mind, before they get briefed, so as they're getting briefed by Doug, they were given 42 pages of brand guidelines, because this is a family, very old, like 60 years they've had the Doughboy on these TV ads. So it's a very old way of marketing to have that big kind of do's and don'ts guidelines. And some would argue that with the rise of TikTok, social media, they need to be ripping up. They want to connect with Gen Z, rip up those guidelines. But here they didn't want to. They found this too negative, which is fine. That's good feedback. Again, this was the space that they showed. Then we had Mahari, Pillsbury factory. So it's all about getting under the skin, getting under the dough, and seeing how these things are made. Very interactive. I quite like this, actually, Mahari. I thought this was quite nice, but wasn't really about the Pillsbury Doughboy. Then we had Bianca. She keeps winning this thing. She must be the favorite to win, and that's well deserved as an observation. She came with pill, press, pop. What she's really good at is just capturing what's that like moment with this brand. And for lots of people, it's when you open up the dough, you kind of peel it, you press it, and you pop it, which I thought was quite nice. And it's all about rolling with the Doughboy. Actually, hang on, this one is Sabrina's. So this was Sabrina's rolling with the Doughboy. Did I just get that wrong? No, Peel Press Pop was Bianca's. This one was Sabrina's, rolling with the Doughboy. Flavor awaits. This was like a food festival, really nice. Lauren did Love at First Bite, which is like a dating app where you can kind of match with your perfect batch. Again, not bad. There might be something in that. Not bad for an hour. So, who won? Who got through? Well, let me tell you, it was Doug chose two campaigns. It was Piper and Bianca. So Piper with Home is Where the Doughboy Is, and Bianca with Pill Press Pop. So the twist here is that this time they created these little activations based on their creative, and Jimmy and Boz were sending a focus group so that the general public, the Gen Pub, can choose what they think is best. And then with what the industry tends to do with focus groups, we go, okay, yeah, that's not what we really wanted to hear, and we just disregard what they've said. I am not a fan of focus groups unless it's something very niche, in which case you really need to find out what that audience thinks. Otherwise, you're just asking like some randoms for there to kind of judge creative, when actually that should be your creative instinct and the client's creative instinct. But, there's an argument for both sides. So, yeah, so we had two teams. We had Piper and her great idea, which is Home is Where the Doughboy Is. That she had Mahari, Sabrina, and Azella on her team. And Bianca had Elijah, Ryan, and Lauren on her team. So these are the pop-ups you can see here. Very nice. New York. And this was Bianca's pop-up. Her idea here is that it's all about ASMR relaxation. It's very Gen Z. It's very TikTok. It's interactive. You come in, you put your headphones on, you watch an iPad, you watch the dough rise, and it all smells of baking. It's kind of fun, and there's not a lot to do, but it's more of like just taking that moment, which is actually, baking is a calm thing. So it's not bad there. I didn't see a lot of the pill press pop here, but she did lean into the sensorial, which is good. Then we had Piper's pop up. This is Piper's first time leading a team, and I thought she did really good here. So she, again, this is Doughboy's house. So visually much more pleasing than Bianca's domes. Although I do like the dough pun. Is it pun? I think that's a pun. So this was all about the dough house, colouring kids book, and a neighbourhood map, so you can kind of walk around and experience this. You kind of get greeted by someone you kind of go through. It's very sort of Willy Wonka-ish. And I think, yeah, good. It's fun for the family. And this is connecting Gen Z, or the next generation, with the Doughboy. So there we go. Didn't see a lot of Doughboy. They didn't have, this must be in the guidebooks, not in the guidelines, not to have an extra large Mr. Dough, sort of Doughboy walking around, because he's a little thing. So they probably had to watch that one, didn't they? So they then did the focus group. General feeling in the focus group is that Bianca edged it with her experience. I think people enjoyed the smell of the baking, the sitting down, putting your headphones on, and just kind of taking a moment. They enjoyed that. She edged it, basically. What didn't edge it was Jimmy, the personality hire of On Brand Agency, coming in as he does in a little character, bit of fun, annoying Boz. Makes good TV, but again, personality hire. Would you fire him? Maybe. This is week 6. But it was great. They both pitched, and I think it was the pitch that did it, that convinced Doug to go back and look at the brief and say, look, we need to connect. The brief was to connect Gen Z with Doughboy, and Doughboy was the focus. So who won? It was Piper. But credit to Bianca and the team. They did a great job. Again, Bianca is just consistently good. Piper, again, she's been on a lot of winning teams, but to lead this team was fantastic. So well done, Piper, Mahari, Sabrina, Azila. Well deserved, in my opinion. Now, her prize, last week they got the Super Bowl, and but she won that anyway. So Piper's on a lot of the winning teams. She went to Pillsbury HQ. Okay, who doesn't want to go there? I bet that's fun. I do like a General Mills HQ or a Unilever house. They always have the most incredible like gift shops, not gift shops, but like reduced stores there. You can like stock up on all your things you want it to be like Cadbury's World in Birmingham. Go there, England. Go there because they've got a shop where you can just buy your favorite Cadbury's chocolate at a reduced price. Who doesn't want that? I went. Neff Ovens was a client of mine, and you could go there, and again, friends and family discount code. Give it to me. That's one of the joys of winning and working on these accounts. Discount codes. Anyway, Piper went to the Pillsbury HQ, and they are creating for her her world, the Doughboys world, um, Dough House. They're bringing it into an AR experience. Download an app, go to this like site, and you can then hold it up and turn your house into Doughboy's house. Very sweet, but well done, well done, well done, Piper. Well done, the team. Great episode 6. It's going to be some eliminations coming up. We're due an elimination, and it's hotting up. They can feel it, the pressure. It's not you got to come in week out, week in, week out, and deliver. Because if you're in that losing team, you're going, and there's a chance you're going, and that's there's some good people left. But well done, Piper. This week's episode belongs to you, and well done, Bianca. That consistency is going to see you through to the final, and we all know this. This has been Off Brand. I'm Rob Mayhew. I'll see you for your next episode. Bye.